Hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. What's the problem? ¿Qué pasó? Mamacita, ¿qué pasó?
Okay.
It's Gene Swart's birthday. What's up, Gene Swart? Happy birthday. I got my birthday hat on,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Gene Swart, one of our viewers out there that is always coming up with some great tennis stuff. I think you had someone out there that wanted you to go back to enter...
Lena wanted me to go back to the Spanish thing, so I'll say it in Spanish.
Spanish introduction. Let's go!
Hola y bienvenido a otra discusión de 5K Tenis. Hoy es el 2 de marzo, no, el 3 de marzo 2020. Y feliz cumpleaños a Gene Swart.
Let's go! So I got my birthday hat on, so we're going to do a quick happy birthday. Let's sing him happy birthday. All right, on three. Ready? On three.
Really?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, big dog Gene Swart. Let's go. Happy birthday to you.
As you can tell, I'm not really the one that sings happy birthday here now.
Let's go. Come on. Boom, boom, boom. Make some noise, Gene Swart. Let's get down.
Rate this hat, guys, from 1 to 10. 1 being the worst, 10 to being the best.
This was one of my old snowboarding hats.
I would laugh at you if you were my instructor at that time.
It's all right. I got down with it. Yeah, this was a snowboarding hat from days of old. All right. So great Spanish, Carla. It's always nice to hear that. Makes my blood flow. I think that's the whole reason why we connected in the first place, is because I love that Latin Honduran lingo.
Oh my, stop.
All right. Anyway,
remember, I'm only first generation.
is there like a Spanish song you can sing happy birthday?
I'm not singing that in Spanish.
I think everybody should vote on that. I think she should start singing the Spanish version of happy birthday.
Cumpleaños, whatever.
All right, jumping right into... Okay, you want to sing?
No, I don't want to. Let's go.
Oh, she's got stage fright.
I can sing, but I don't want to.
Okay, we'll roll something out there, Carla.
No, let's go. Come on.
By the way, there will be a prize giveaway on this video, so stay tuned for that. Pardon the noise we just made, but it's birthday, so I thought that there was some celebration due.
And congrats to the winner before, which was Alex Cuyar in Texas. I sent out the strings to him yesterday.
Oh, he won.
So he was the winner. The answer was actually Federer. I know many of you were confused. Many answered it right, but didn't want the strings because they don't play tennis. They just watch tennis. But the correct answer was Federer, since Nadal won in 2010. So Federer was the person before him. And then, yes, Nadal won in 2008 and then Borg. A lot of people got it confused and they said Borg.
The prize giveaway on this one will be a random question tossed in, and it will be for either a set of strings or a hat. All right? Oh, and by the way, the better part of this morning, Carla and I spent on a site called TeePublic, Teepublic. And that is a place where you can actually now, at this point, go and buy a 5K tennis t-shirt. I think it takes 48 hours for you to be able to search the words 5K tennis. But I'll put a link on the bottom of this video in the description field. You can kind of hit the down arrow next to the title. And there's some places where we type random stuff, whatever. And I'll put a link there right to it.
Okay.
Speaking of noise, though, in this case, the lack thereof.
Do you want me to show them the shirts or no?
Yeah, show them the shirts real quick. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wanted to congratulate real quickly Venus Williams and Anna Carolina Schmidlova for last night playing a match where no one grunted. There was zero grunting. And so it is possible that in women's tennis we don't grunt. So congrats, Venus and Schmidlova, for that match. All right, here's the t-shirts. And I think you can get hoodies.
Yeah, you can get anything.
Yeah, let's go. Last night during the Venus Schmidlova match, we were able to actually have the volume up and not have our ears burst. Even though the match, I think, could potentially indicate why Venus Williams really is not a big-time threat at this point anymore. By the way, Venus Williams is one of my all-time favorite tennis players. Really and truly is. But where do you think she is moving forward, Carla?
I did look at her record, and it seems like anytime Venus wins the first set and she loses that second set, she's almost guaranteed to lose. This year, she has not won a match yet. She lost at the Australian Open to Coco Gauff. Mexico Open, she was up a set against Juvan and lost in 3 sets. And then last night in Monterrey Open against Schmidlova, She was up a set, lost the second set, and went down in the third set. I mean, she is 39 years old. I really think it's time for her to retire. I know she's probably doing it, like Justin said, to promote her clothing line, and just to be out there. Maybe she's just having fun, but, I heard, what's her name? Shmidova?
Anna Carolina Shmidlova.
She said she was so happy this was the best win of her life, but let's be real, you're playing a 39-year-old woman who's been on the tour for a long time, who can barely move, who doesn't really practice as much. I mean, she doesn't have the energy. She's going through something physical. Health-wise,
she's always had that.
She looks like a mommy out there.
She's always had the health issue for
a long time. For
yeah.
a long time. So I don't know that I would be like, yes, I just beat Venus Williams. I don't know that I would do that. I mean, I think I would be happier beating some other player. I don't know. I'm just saying, Venus right now. I think we all got a shot against Venus. Just take her to a third set.
For me, hence why I wore this hat. My favorite tournament ever since I was an itty bitty child, and it runs in the family. And I mean for generations. My dad's 82, still plays, and he was born into it, so do the math. But I love Wimbledon. This hat was sent to us last year by Michael Figgins from Big Hit Sports International, wonderful tennis trainer, physio guy, does a really great job. He was there last year and was wearing a 5K tennis shirt at the SW19 gate, right?
Yes.
So that was pretty cool. But Wimbledon is my favorite tournament by far. So with that said, when I forget the exact age anyway, but when Venus Williams was rolling off her Wimbledons, I used to get chill bumps watching her play. There was some
first slam, right?
Yeah, something about Venus always made me feel happy when she would win Wimbledon. She wasn't like, her sister not hating on Serena. She wasn't like, the person that wanted to tear your head off. She was more of, had the grace and the poise and the fluidity and so forth. So number one, I want to say that I love Venus Williams and always have. Until just this past year, I kept her on my fantasy teams throughout. Anyway, I do think that Venus Williams is playing now, though, and all jokes aside and all truth, to proliferate her clothing brand. We watched her play at the Australian. I think she had her own shop set up at the Australian Open. So I think very much synonymous with Venus Williams is Roger Federer, and you guys can hate me for that and say I don't like Federer, and
that's not even close.
Well, no, let me tell you why I kind of think these two are kind of synonymous of where they are in their careers, respectively. Both Hall of Famers, obviously. But Roger Federer again had knee surgery, but everything that I read, and I read daily all the time, is talking about I can't wait for the future Laver Cup. It's going to be quote unquote unreal. I read an article yesterday where he's doing his Uniqlo new some relaxed fit or dry fit attire that helps him win matches because it helps him stay lighter on his feet. So you remember reading this?
No, wow.
No, we read it.
Really? There's clothes that can make you lighter on your feet?
It was like a Uniqlo commercial, and he was saying something along the lines of, this new XYZ fit, whatever it was called, it's really a game changer. It helps me through my... Anyway, I don't want to quote.
Guys, if you buy the t-shirt, our t-shirt, it'll make you play better tennis.
Yeah, buy the 5K tennis shirt.
And it'll make you say, let's go!
It'll make you a better person! Let's go! Don the shirt and you'll don some badass.
And you'll hit a one-handed backhand.
Clean. Or a two-hander if that's what you play with. It'll make you hit any shot on the court. No problem. No pareros.
You might even be able to speak Spanish. If
Maybe. That make you fluent.
I'm sorry. Going back to Venus, she has 49 career titles, 10 single Grand Slams. She's won 2 Australian Opens, 1 French Open, 5 Wimbledons, and 2 U.S. Opens. You know what I thought was amazing about her career? And that she's actually won many doubles titles. In total, 14 doubles titles. 4 Australian Opens, 2 French Opens, 6 Wimbledons, and 2 U.S. Open. And she's also won 2 mixed doubles Grand Slam championships. And gold medals at singles and doubles at 2000 in Sydney, gold medal for doubles in Beijing, and 2012 gold medal and silver in mixed doubles. That's amazing. I mean, she's definitely a Hall of Famer. I mean, if her sister was not around, she could have won many more.
Yeah, if it wasn't for her own sister, she might have, 30 majors or something.
Absolutely. But it's just time, to hang the rackets. It's sad, but you know what? I like that she doesn't grunt, and they hit just as hard. They didn't grunt.
Yeah, I mean, I give that match last night, as we know, Venus lost that match. I give it a 10 of 10, simply because it's hard to find a match, especially in the women's game these days, where you don't have at least one person squealing like their fingers getting caught in a freaking blender, and you can't get your finger out because your necktie is stuck in the damn blade. You know, you're like, oh, I get my finger out. Oh, my necktie is stuck in there. I can't pull it out. Oh, shoot. I mean, it was a pleasure. I had to pause. We had the ability to pause a match, so I paused the match. I'm like, Carla. All the kids are all yelling. I'm like, Carla, yelling louder than the kids so she can hear it. She's like, what? I'm like, come here. So she comes upstairs, and I'm like, what do you hear really interesting about this match? And I hit play, and there's like, nice point. You know, it was like, touch, It was just clean. So I enjoyed watching that match regardless of the score. Let's go! All right, by the way, speaking about let's go, Carla and I managed to get in trouble once again yesterday. Somehow, again, we managed to get in trouble at a tennis tournament.
We're such troublemakers.
I mean, I don't know. we always tend to get in...
People just don't like us.
Yeah, it's just one of these odd scenarios. The first tournament we went to since our boys' high school team started, there was a coach, respectively. Well, not really at that point in time, but he was like coaching his kid from the sideline behind the fence, and then so finally, after one whole set of it and giving this guy like a 30-second timeout, talking to him against the fence in the middle of a game, we started talking to our own son. Carla had walked away, and I walked over, and see the dilemma here is I'm very fair complexion. And my boys are, like, darker than her.
No, they're not darker than me.
Close,
only one.
Close.
Only one of them.
Close.
Only one of them.
Close in both.
Jonathan is much lighter than I am.
Yeah, you put some sun on him, and he's real dark. Anyway, but I don't look like someone that would be the father, so a lot of times I'm sitting there, and I hear things, you know, like this guy talking about this, and they don't realize, you know, they're speaking freely, but they don't realize, like, their dad's sitting right next to them because they just assume that I'm not because they look totally different. And so I pick these things up, and so I start talking to my kids, and all of a sudden it's a problem that we're talking to our kids, still unknowns that we're mom and dad, whatever, because they're just assuming, and then just crap hits the fan. So anyway, so yesterday we are at a tournament, and I am sitting next to a coach of another team. No worries, like, what's up? Let's go. But she's talking with her player through the fence about their Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its is like an American cheddar cracker.
Which is why American tennis sucks.
What are you talking about? You're going to be sitting next...
We're talking about food while we're playing a match.
No. The girl that was playing was not playing one of our children, even though both of our other boys were playing.
They were playing one of our students.
But they were demolishing their opponents. And one of our students was in a tight match against one of her students. But again, I'm sitting there... And all of a sudden, the teacher is talking to her student through the fence, not about the game of tennis, but about how many Cheez-Its they got left. I'm like, what? I don't even say anything. I'm just like, I hope my student wins. I hope she hits it to her backhand. So finally, after like 10 minutes of hearing about their Cheez-It snacks for after the match, which was just totally just shitty, just shit on a slab, SOS, I get up and walk over to where my student is, or our. And I start talking to her because they're talking about Cheez-Its. So when our student turns the tides on them because of what we told her through the fence, the Cheez-It teacher comes over and tells the coach of our team, which we assist with, but we can't legally talk through the fence because we're not teachers at the school, therefore we can't be the coaches, even though that was our student. Anyway, she comes over and tells the coach that we need to keep it down. We need to keep it down.
Yeah, we need to be quiet.
I'm like, what? Home lady was just over there talking about she's a teacher and proliferating fitness and longevity through the game of tennis. She was just talking to her player about Cheez-Its through the fence during the match with my student while she's over there like
actually giving her student a break because
giving her a break because she wants some Cheez-Its.
She was tired because she was running a lot. But yeah, I don't care. I kept making noise. It don't matter to me.
So I kept making noise. I was like, what? Let's go. It's exactly what I did, man. I just, look.
And we even got the parents involved. Parents. The student. They were getting feisty, too.
Let's go! Woo, woo. Parents were on team 5K. Teacher was over there, like, scratching her head. I was like, look, I said, look, I can be a real pain in the butt if I'm picked on here. In a sense, you assumed, but you didn't realize, and now you look like an idiot. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we made it freaking noise again. Let's go.
We're not liked. By many.
We are not.
Do you think it's because maybe we're too honest sometimes?
I don't know, man, but we just can't make friends.
I've heard that I'm too honest.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of friends. That's why we're like doing this.
Yeah, I don't believe in that, actually. True friends, hard to find. I think all of you guys know that.
See what you get and get what you got. Let's go. Whatever that meant. All right. Real quickly, this is a 2-second thing. Andy Murray will be playing Miami, which is some people could say arguably is the 5th or 6th slam.
Well,
except it's 2 out of 3 sets.
I don't think there'll be a lot of people playing the Miami Open. Usually, when we have a lot of the guys on the tour playing Indian Wells and they do well, they kind of withdraw from the Miami Open. I've noticed that a lot. Last year it was Roger Federer, which is why he's dropping in seeding because he's won a lot of tournaments. Dubai, Miami Open, that's a lot of points to defend. Only reason, going back to Thiem, why he's number 3 in the world right now.
My sentence to Murray, Andy Murray, would be something synonymous with what like LeVar Ball used to say with the big baller brand stuff. Slow your roll, stay in your lane.
I hate that.
Here's the deal. Murray is a fine gentleman. The proof is in the pudding. Mm-hmm. He is a fine player. His record speaks for itself, and he hung with the biggest names in tennis for a lot of years. Easy on the throttle because when we have invasive surgeries, sometimes our egos and our mind cannot overcome our body. And it's difficult. Slow your roll. I would like to see Andy Murray in the coaching realm at some point. I know I go off on how I don't like defensive games and running around like you're playing soccer all the time. No disrespect to soccer, but Murray's a constant runner like Nadal. Or like Medvedev, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's a game I coach to students except when you have to do it, but he's really good at doing that game, and I know a lot of people do it. So I would like to see Murray maybe transform into a coach and maybe preserve that hit moving forward.
I would be careful if I were him. I don't know that I would. It's tough. I know he loves the sport, right? Who are we to tell him, hey, don't play? Don't play, or anybody tell him don't play. I guess he has to see for himself.
Yeah, I mean, I jumped up for an overhead on a bad knee and blew out my patellar tendon, and I mean, I know the feeling. We let our minds, and my father always tells me this to this very day. At some point, it's not about being a good player anymore. Let's become a better coach and become a better businessman and a better person to share the game with others. And that's kind of my MO, but it's kind of hard to kind of transgress into that realm. It's kind of like you have to warp into a different, parallel universe, but you're still in the same one. So it's kind of difficult sometimes. Roger Federer now drops out of the big 3. I think a couple of our viewers over the past year or since we started the show have said since then that he's been out of the big 3. Retrospect to Venus Williams and Roger, they have their contracts. They have.
Yeah, but Roger won a lot last year, just what I said. If Thiem does bad at Indian Wells, he's going to lose a lot of points as well. So who knows? We might see that go up and down. And don't forget, Medvedev's not doing that great either, so his points might go up and down. So Federer might not be in that much trouble.
Well, where it helps Dominic Thiem, and not really actually, because if he is 3 seed going into Roland Garros, then you're going to have Djokovic at the top or Nadal at the top. However, Roland Garros pulls it off, but you'll have 1 and 2. And then it'll really depend where 3 falls, but 3 falls in a semi with either Djokovic or Nadal either way, and I still don't think Thiem's good enough to beat either one.
I know a lot of viewers got on me about the Thiem thing, and I said he looks tired. He has points to defend here at Indian Wells. He did well he had a Masters also clay last year. He has to defend that, so he needs to, there's a lot of points on the line for him.
Let's go!
Before you go, going back to the women, I saw Sloane Stephens finally won a match.
Let's go, Chocolate Milk.
Monterey Open against Navarro in 3 sets, finally.
It takes time for Chocolate Milk to kick in.
Finally.
You have to give it time. In this case, she beat Suarez Navarro, right?
No, she beat Navarro, an American player.
Oh, I thought it was Suarez Navarro who was retiring this year. I got that wrong.
No, American player. Azarenka's playing at Monterey Open, and so is Clijsters tonight against Konta, which I think she has a good chance of beating.
Who is Azarenka playing? Do you know? It doesn't matter either or. I only brought that up because we know that we have this apparatus, which is a screech level indicator that picks up on really loud squeals when some players are playing. And Azarenka always puts the screech level indicator on high alert. You see
She
what I'm
plays
saying?
against Zidansek.
Zidansek, yeah.
Zidansek,
I'm not
yeah.
sure if Zidansek is a big squealer. She's been around all the time, too. Anyway, moving forward, Andy Roddick, over his career, had a 5-4 head-to-head, a positive advantage over Novak Djokovic and his career. 5-4 head-to-head. Now, granted, Roddick retired an eon ago and played only a very young Novak Djokovic. And I bring this up only because of a quote that Andy Roddick made, and I thought it was pretty interesting, and you Djokovic fans will like this. So, Andy Roddick was asked what his secret was to having a winning record against Novak Djokovic. And he said, that's kind of easy. It's easy. Retire before you have to play the guy again.
So beat him in a few matches and then you retire. Yeah. Yes, I got Djokovic head-to-head. Yes. Yeah. He can go out saying, yes, Djokovic never had a head-to-head, higher head-to-head against me.
I played him 9 times before he was like 10. Thank God I had to retire. All right, but here's a couple of things I wrote down, which was pretty alarming and like, whoa. What was the song that was like, whoa? I forget what that is, but whoa. Here's an amazing list of match win streaks that Novak Djokovic has pulled off, okay? Currently, he is on a 21 match win streak. How many people can say that? The world was turning upside down when Monfils won 14 or something. Whatever. At the ATP 250 level, much that, but we're talking the biggest of the big matches. Now let's check this out. Currently on a 21 match win streak. He went on 22 match win streaks in 2012, 2013, and in 2018. He went on a 23 match win streak in 2015. He went on 28 match win streaks in 2013 and 2014. And he went on a 43 match win streak in 2010 and 2011. Insanity. Wow. There's no one that's insurmountable.
No.
Against the biggest names in the game.
2010, 2011, yeah, that's huge.
All right, here is the random prize giveaway question right now. The first person to answer this, and I get it, it's subject because some people are like asleep now and some people are just going to watch it, so I'm still trying to work that out. Any ideas? Let us know. Trying. But it's going to be for a set of Y-Tech strings or a Y-Tex hat. We do have 5K tennis shirts again out, and they're on the description field below, and we're still trying to work that out. But for this one, shirt or hat, your choice, okay? Here's the question. Roger Federer was up 2-0 over Kevin Anderson and ended up losing in the quarterfinals of the 2018 Wimbledon tournament. Correct? We all remember that, right? Who was Roger Federer playing? And what year and round did this happen to Roger once again? It happened to him twice. Kevin Anderson was the first, or maybe the second. You do the research. Who was the other person Roger Federer lost to, being up 2-0 at Wimbledon?
First one to answer.
First one to
answer. We can tell on the thing, so.
All right, so guys, that's all that I have. There really wasn't a rhyme or reason to this except happy birthday, Gene Swart. Let's go.
17. Do you remember what you were doing at 17?
I was only 17.
You were already in college, right?
Yeah, I graduated high school at 16. I started college at 17.
I was a senior in high school, deciding my future, and I decided to play amateur tennis. Yeah, 17.
Such a vibrant thing, such a vibrant thing, That's it. Adios. Let's go. Come on. Boom. Peace.